Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. Hello, everybody. I am Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you're having a good day. Let's get into this. So, another judge, this time a judge out of Maryland, has blocked Trump's birthright citizenship effort. All right? Another judge. So let's get right into it. I'm reading from an article published by CNN, and the title is Federal Judge in Maryland Blocks Trump's Birthright Citizenship Order. And by the way, this time it is a nationwide block. All right. The judge applied her ruling to the nation. So this won't go forward unless it's going to be appealed to the Fourth Circuit, which is there in Richmond, Virginia. And that appellate court, the Fourth Circuit, will determine whether or not this judge's ruling is, in fact, constitutional. Okay. And that Fourth Circuit, by the way, is a pretty conservative circuit. So there is a chance of it being overturned. But for now, her block extends across the nation. Let's read some of this. All right. A federal judge Tuesday indefinitely blocked President Donald Trump's effort to curb birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants and foreigners with temporary visas, a decision that is likely to mean the executive order will not take effect as planned later this month. U.S. District Judge Deborah Boardman issued a preliminary injunction after a court hearing in Greenbelt, Maryland, in a lawsuit brought by civil rights groups aiming at stopping Trump's order on the grounds that it violates the Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment. Now, this preliminary injunction means that it's blocked or it's stopped. All right, it's not just a temporary restraining order. It is a preliminary injunction. It's not permanent. It's a preliminary injunction until the case is adjudicated and goes through the federal court system. Obviously, no matter what happens in the Fourth Circuit, the case is going to be appealed to the United States Supreme Court. And that's really where Trump and MAGA wants it in the first place because they know they have 6 conservatives on the court. All right. Now, to understand how this whole matter has been decided in the past, go to a recent video. I've done 2 videos on birthright citizenship. The last one, I went in depth on a very important case regarding birthright citizenship. Okay. Wong Kim Ark. The name of the case is United States versus Wong Kim Ark. And it just lays out, how birthright citizenship works. And I went through that case and I showed you that Trump's executive order was absolutely wrong. It was not consistent with the United States Constitution. Hello, everyone. I got great news. The merch is finally here. We've been waiting and waiting, but we can finally begin branding our channel. But we need your help to get our brand out there. If you like what we provide and like what you see, please go to the channel and grab your hoodie, your t-shirt, your mug, and we got more designs and products on the way. Just visit our YouTube channel at the Defiant Lawyers Network. Also, we will donate a portion of each dollar you spend on our merch towards some nonprofit. And remember, as always, stay woke. But I also cautioned in that video that the United States Supreme Court, I believe, is likely to amend, to change what the 14th Amendment says and overturn the case that essentially says if you're born here and subject to the jurisdiction of this country, meaning your parents are not diplomats or ambassadors, nor is your parent from a hostile country that is doing hostility here, then you're a citizen, automatically, point blank. All right. And it was added, the 14th Amendment was added because of the Dred Scott decision, which said African Americans at that time were not citizens. were not citizens because we had come here from Africa. So the 14th Amendment was added during Reconstruction following the Civil War. It gave us citizenship. And because it is a case that was added because of us and deals with our citizenship, as an African American, I don't like seeing Trump or anyone else tinkering with the 14th Amendment. All right? The court has said, the United States Supreme Court has already said how birthright citizenship works, and that should be the end of it. I just don't like it, because if they start tinkering with it, I mean, they can keep tinkering with it, right? They may want to do something to our citizenship. Now, non-lawyers are running around here saying, well, they can't change the Constitution to impact African Americans. That's not true. SCOTUS, the United States Supreme Court, can interpret the Constitution in a way that basically changes it without amending it, right? Just like it has interpreted the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the Seventh Amendment, and so on, in a way that basically changed the meaning of those amendments. So don't say what SCOTUS can do. SCOTUS is the final arbiter of the law in our country. So don't listen to some non-lawyer who tells you that, well, African-American people are protected and they're not, Trump is not going to do something. You don't know. They don't know. I don't know what MAGA has up its sleeves. I just know they're anti-black. And so therefore I don't trust them. And I don't want SCOTUS messing with the 14th Amendment. Because again, SCOTUS can change what it wants. It is the final arbiter of our law. So they can change it if they so desire. All right, now, so let's pick up here. I just want to read a little bit more. The injunction, let me go back to that screen. The injunction applies nationally and will remain in place as the case is adjudicated. So while the case is going through the system, this case will remain on hold. Okay, birthright citizenship will maintain the status quo. Not the way Trump said it should be in his executive order, but the way it has been for centuries. Okay? The Maryland lawsuit is one of at least 6 federal cases brought against Trump's order by a total of 22 Democratic-led states and more than a half dozen civil rights groups. A federal judge in Seattle previously issued a 14-day restraining order. All right, this preliminary injunction is stronger than a temporary restraining order, which lasts every 14 days. It has to be renewed. This doesn't have to be renewed. This will be in place until some higher court overturns it. Otherwise, it'll be in place. In issuing the injunction, Boardsman said the plaintiffs would very likely succeed on the merits in the case against Trump's order, which she said conflicts with the plain language of the 14th Amendment. I completely agree with the last statement. And under normal circumstances, I would completely agree where she said that it's very likely to succeed on the merits in the case against Trump. I don't think that it's very likely because, again, SCOTUS, 6 members who are far right, and they definitely rubber stamp a whole lot of what Trump wants. So I don't know about very likely. Under normal circumstances, it definitely would because, again, the way the 14th Amendment has been interpreted in the past stretches back many years, 100 years with this Wong Kim Art case, and then 200 or 300 years before then under English common law. Okay, under English common law. So, but never say never with this Supreme Court. The Trump administration is expected to appeal Boardman's injunction, according to legal experts. I agree. At a rally after the court hearing, several dozen immigrants gathered at the Langley Park, Maryland office of CASA. That's like an advocacy agency that works with parents and children. Okay. One of 2 nonprofit groups that filed a lawsuit on behalf of 5 pregnant women whose children would be denied citizenship under Trump's order said, quote, The people united will never be defeated, they chanted. Now, I mean, we don't have to go any further with this article, but let me just say that this is really important. Birthright citizenship. This can be used to interfere with us in some way. So anyone, if you're a lawyer, you know that this is what we call a slippery slope. I mean, you go down this road and you can start. I mean, if SCOTUS hands down a bad opinion, all that needs to happen at that point is some other organization or some other plaintiff can file a lawsuit, work it up to the Supreme Court, and argue that any one of us, or any one of any group are not citizens. That is my concern. You follow me? That is my concern, because a lot of MAGA, some of them, I heard a recent video. The guy said, we're not really Americans. I mean, this is a guy who recently said that. We, African Americans, are not really Americans. That's the way a lot of them feel. So I don't want them tinkering with the 14th Amendment. At the same time, we certainly don't want people coming into the country who shouldn't be here, gangbangers and murderers and bad people, although most people who come here, even those who come here legally based on data, are not those kind of people. They're not those kind of people. But again, we do need to be in control of the border. I agree with Obama's approach to have a strong border while at the same time trying to pass immigration reform so that the people who should be here under our law can get here and can enter. But the first thing is securing the border. I completely agree with that. But don't mess with the 14th Amendment to do it. Anyway, this right here stops all of this for now, unless the Fourth Circuit overturn this judge. And then, as I said, regardless of who loses, they're going to file a writ of certiorari to see if the U.S. Supreme Court will accept the case. And no doubt the U.S. Supreme Court will accept the case. And if Trump lost at the Fourth Circuit, I think there's a good chance that SCOTUS will overturn that loss and maybe do something like simply say, in addition to the exceptions I gave you, parents who are diplomats, parents who are from a hostile country, they may add also parents who are in the country illegally. I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but I think there's a good chance that may happen. But for now, it's stopped. All right, so I wanted to bring that to you, explain that to you. Thank you, as always, for watching the video. I'm sure you got something out of it. I am Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. As always, as I always say with all my videos, stay woke.